Hello students, the story that we are going to read today is Old Man at the Bridge by Ernest Hemingway. Now this story you could call as an anti-war story, and it is set during the backdrop of the Spanish Civil War of 1938. So let's start this story, The Old Man at the Bridge by Ernest Hemingway. An old man with steel-rimmed spectacles and very dusty clothes sat by the side of the road. Here, the narrator is saying that an old man, a very old man, having a steel-rimmed spectacle, a spectacle having the steel rims out there, and a very dusty cloth, sat by the side of the road. Now, this is the introduction of this old man also out here. He was wearing steel-rimmed spectacles and have dirty clothes out there. There was a pontoon bridge across the river, and cars, trucks, and men, women, and children were crossing it. It shows some urgency must be there, that everyone was crossing it, crossing the pontoon bridge. Pontoon bridges are the makeshift bridges which are being made out there over the rivers during the time of need. So there was a pontoon bridge across the river, and cars, trucks, and men, women, and children were crossing it. The mule-drawn cars staggered up the steep bank from the bridge, with soldiers helping push against the spokes of the wheel. Now this is another point of showing the urgency out here, that people were, or the soldiers, or rather the soldiers were pushing the cars so that it may move from that place as quickly as possible. They were moving showing the urgency out there. They were moving very quickly from that place, and soldiers were also helping them so that they can move as quickly as possible. The trucks ground up and away, heading out of it all, and the peasants plodded along in the ankle-deep dust. Peasants were also walking from there with ankle-deep dust out there, because it was near the river, dust were everywhere, the sand were everywhere. So they were just moving or plodding down or staggering down from there. They were moving from that place. But the old man sat there without moving. He was too tired to go any further. But the old man was sitting there without moving. He was too tired. So now you can clearly see that there are many symbols out here. The bridge symbol from one end to the other end, and here that bridge symbols that one end to the other end, and the old man symbolizes the end or the old things out there which are unable to move to the other part. So it is a symbol out here showing that people were moving from one end to the other end, or one part to the other part, and the old man symbolizes that there are something about to end. Something is about to end out here, because he was unable to move to the other part. He was so tired out here that he was sitting at that place. So, without moving, he was too tired to go any further. It was my business. The narrator is saying that it was his business as a soldier to cross the bridge, explore the bridgehead, the end of the bridge, beyond, and find out to what point the enemy had advanced. So it was the duty of the narrator. Remember that. If ever the question asked that what was the duty of the narrator, you can write that the duty of the narrator was to cross the bridge, head beyond, and see whether the enemies were approaching or not. So it was a war zone out there. And now the need of the urgency could be clear. That the people were running away because it was a war zone, and enemies could be arrived, enemies could approach any time there. So the people were moving from that place, and now the old man was unable to move further. And what is happening out here? That the narrator, he was there, and he was seeing that whether the enemies have approached or rather arriving or not. I did this. He did what he was supposed to do, see whether the enemies are approaching or not, and return over the bridge. There were not so many cars now, and very few people on foot. But the old man was still there. Not so many cars were there now. Most of them have gone, moved away from that place. But the old man was still sitting there. When he returned back to that exact place, he saw that the old man was still sitting there. Where do you come from? I asked him. I asked him the question. The narrator said that he asked the question to the old man, that where do you come from? Remember, this is the first question the narrator asked this old man. Question may be asked regarding that. So where do you come from? I asked him. From San Carlos, he smiled. That was his native town, and so it gave him pleasure to mention it, and he smiled. So whenever we are at some far distant land or any other cities, if someone asks us about our home, we say the name of our city, and it gives us an immense pleasure. That was happening to this old man also. He get pleasure on mentioning his place, his native place, San Carlos, and so he smiled out there. So I was taking care of animals, he explained. Without of context, he said that I was taking care of the animals. No one asked anything about the animals, but he said that I was taking care of animals. Oh, I said, not quite understanding. The narrator was baffled because he hadn't asked anything regarding the animals or anything about the old man's life. But so he was baffled and he asked, oh, yes, he said, I stayed there so long, you see, taking care of animals. As I was taking care of animals, I was the last one to leave the town of San Carlos. I was the last person to leave the town of San Carlos. He did not look like a shepherd, not a herdsman. He did not look like a shepherd or a herdsman, but still he had animals which he mentioned. And I looked at his black, dusty clothes, which are mentioned earlier also, and his grey, dusty face, and his steel-rimmed spectacles, and said, what animals were they? So the narrator asked him, what were the animals they had? Various animals, he said. He said there are various animals out there, and shook his head. I had to leave them. Now this was very painful for a man. The animals, he used to love those animals out there, and he had to leave those animals out here because he had to leave that place. So it was a very painful thing for that person. So he said that various animals, and I had to leave them. I was watching the bridge and the African-looking country of the Ebro Delta, and wondering how long now it would be before we would see the enemy, and listening all the while for the first noises that would signal that ever mysterious event called contact. And the old man still sat there. So he was a soldier on duty, and he was watching the bridge, and he was looking at the African-looking country of the Ebro Delta. So that place is Ebro Delta. And African-looking, why it has been mentioned as African-looking? Because just like Africa, from where it is believed that the human beings started to evolve, so it is just like the same. Nothing has changed up till now. It is that same old place, just as it was centuries ago near the Ebro Delta or around the Ebro Delta. Nothing has changed. It has remained the same, just as many years ago or centuries ago. It is still the same. So he is saying it is like the African-looking country of Ebro Delta, and he was wondering, as his duty, he was wondering that when they would be able to see the enemy, or listening to the while for the first noises of the boot of the soldiers marching. So he was wondering when we will be hearing about that first noise of the boot of the marching soldiers that would signal the contact with the soldiers. But the old man was still sitting there. He was unable to move from that place. What animals were they? He asked again. What animals were they? I asked. There were 3 animals altogether, he explained. He explained there were 3 animals in total. There were 2 goats and a cat, and then there were 4 pairs of pigeons. So these were the animals this old man used to possess at San Carlos. There were 2 goats and a cat, and there were 4 pairs of pigeons. And you had to leave them, I asked. I asked, you have to leave all those animals out there? Yes, because of the artillery. The captain told me to go because of the artillery. Since the shells were being fired, so it was, he had to leave that place. The captain ordered that everyone must leave that place to save their life, as the shells were being fired, the artilleries were there. So they left that place. And you have no family? I asked, watching the far end of the bridge where few last cars were hurrying down the slope of the bank. And then he asked another question, you don't have any family? And he was also watching that most of the people have now gone. The few last cars could be seen there, and they were also hurrying down the slope of the bank of the riverside. No, he said, only the animals I stated or mentioned. He said, no, only the animals that I had stated or mentioned. The cat, of course, will be alright. He said the cat, of course, will be alright. There will be no harm happening to that cat. A cat can look out for itself, but I cannot think what will become of the others. But you don't know what will happen to the other animals, the goat and the pigeons. What politics you have? I asked. He asked, which political party do you support? Since it was a Spanish civil war, at that time there were war within the country, between the peoples. And so he asked, which political party do you support in this war? I am without politics, he said. I am 76 years old. I have come 12 kilometers now, and I think now I can go no further. See, these are the common people who suffers during the war. They are there just to look after the families or the animals they had, and they had nothing to do with the politics, but still they are the ones who suffer most during the war. So that's what here could be clearly seen, that he is not supporting any political parties, but still he has to leave his own village, he has to leave his own place, become a refugee in his own country, and is running from one end to the other. And now a 76-year-old man who had walked 12 kilometers, such a long distance, and he is completely exhausted now. So he is saying, I am without politics. He said, I am 76 years old, remember the age. I have come 12 kilometers, and I think now I can go no further. This is not a good place to stop. I say this is not a good place to stop. Anytime the soldiers could arrive, and when they cross the bridge, they will be seeing this old man, they will shoot him down there. So he said, this is not a good place to stop out here. If you can make it, if you can try, there are trucks up the road where it forks for Tortosa. He said, the narrator said that if you could try, there are trucks up there on the road where it forks means divide for Tortosa. I will wait a while, he said, and then I will go. Where do the trucks go? The old man said, I will wait a while since I am completely exhausted, I can't move now. I will wait, I will take rest, and then I will move. Then he asked, where do the trucks go? Where the trucks will lead to? Towards Barcelona, I told you. The narrator said the trucks will lead towards Barcelona. Little they knew that Barcelona would also be completely destroyed during that civil war. So, even if the old man would be able to go to Barcelona, there was no chance for him to survive, as Barcelona was also completely destroyed. Towards Barcelona, I told you. I know no one in that direction, he said, but thank you very much. Thank you again very much. He said, I don't know anyone there. See, again the problems of the war. He has to go to that place where he knows no one. There was no help there for him. And still he had to move to that place. He said, but thank you. Thanks for listening to me. He said, but thank you very much. Thank you again very much. He looked at me very blankly and tiredly. He looked at me completely blankly without any expression. And also he was very tired. Then said, having to share his worry with someone. Then, since there was someone, the narrator was listening to him, he had someone to share his worry. He said, the cat will be alright, I am sure. There is no need to be unquiet about the cat. But the others, what do you think about the others? He said, cat will be alright, there will be no problem with the cat. But the others, what will happen to the others? Well, why? They will probably come through it alright. Now the narrator is trying to say to him that everyone will be alright, there will be no need to worry about them. Just saying or consoling him, because they all knew the fact that nothing could be done about the other animals. Why, they will probably come through it alright. You think so? He asked, you think so? That they will be alright out there? Why not? I said, watching the far bank where now there were no cars. I said, watching the far bank where there are no cars now. There were no cars visible now. Everyone has left that place. But what will they do under the artillery when I was told to leave because of the artillery? Now I said, what the animals should be doing in the artillery when the shellings are being fired? When I, a human beings are regarded as one of the strongest of all the species. So he said, when I, a human being, have to leave that place because of the artillery, what chances the animals have out there during the time of the artillery is when I, as a human being, have to leave that place. But what will they do under the artillery when I was told to leave because of the artillery? Did you leave the dove cage unlocked? He asked. He asked, did you leave the dove or the pigeon's cage unlocked? Yes. Then they will fly. Yes, certainly they will fly, but the others, the goats, it's better not to think about the others. So finally he gave up and he said it's better not to think about the other animals, the goat. Now there is a symbol out here also regarding the animals. The cats. The cats, as there are proverbs that the cats have 9 lives, they survive everything. So cat will survive out there. Dove, pigeons, a symbol of peace, they will fly away from that place when the artilleries are being fired. The peace will move away from that place. But the goats are the sacrificing animals. They will surely be sacrificed. The goats will surely be sacrificed out. Even if the enemies will arrive, they will kill the goat, even or no matter what. So the goats are the sacrificing animals out there. Now, here every animal symbolizes someone. The cat symbolizes the supreme powerful countries. They, after waging a war, nothing happens to them. They are safe always and forever. The cat symbolizes those countries which will remain at peace even after the war. The goats symbolizes the common people who have to suffer without having any fault of their own. See, the old man doesn't have any political connections out there. He doesn't support any political party out there, but still he has to suffer. The common man. The goats are symbolizing the common man out there. That they have to suffer no matter what. And so finally the old man also gave up about the goats, saying that nothing could be done of them. He said it's better not to think about the others, the goats. If you are rested, I will go, I urged. Get up and try to walk now. The narrator out there, he said that if you have rested, you have taken up to rest out there, you should try to move now. Get up and try to walk now. Thank you, he said, and got to his feet. The old man said thank you, got to his feet, swayed from side to side, just moved out there, and then sat down backward in the dust once again. And then sat down in the dust once again because he was so exhausted, he was too exhausted to move any further. I was taking care of animals, he said dully, but no longer to me. I was only taking care of animals. He said I was just taking care of the animals, nothing I was doing, nothing else I was doing out there. So now he also realized the fact that he also won't be able to survive this, just as those goats out there in his village of San Carlos. There was nothing to do about it. Now the narrator also gave up to that old man. Just as the old man gave up to the goats that nothing could be done about the goats, in that same way the narrator gave up to that old man, saying that there was nothing to do about it. We could do nothing for that old man. It was Easter Sunday and the fascists were advancing towards the Ebro. So it was Easter Sunday, a day of hope out there, when Jesus Christ was resurrected after being crucified. So it was a day of hope, Easter Sunday. But nothing hopeful could be seen here. The goats will perish, the old man will perish. Anytime the fascists would advance and destroy that place. So it was Easter Sunday and the fascists were advancing towards the Ebro Delta. It was a grey, overcast day with a low ceiling, means chances of rainfall. Low ceiling means chance of rainfall is there. And so their planes were not up, and so their planes were not flying at that moment. So it was a lucky thing the planes were not flying at that moment, else they would have destroyed everything out there. So since it was a low ceiling, the planes were not flying. That and the fact that cats know how to look after themselves was all the good luck that old man could ever have. And so the only two good lucks was the old man would have was number one, that it was a low ceiling, the planes were not flying, so he was surviving at the present moment. And second, the cat could survive all these things. These are the only two good luck this old man would ever have in his life. And this ends the story, which without shedding a single drop of blood, shows to us the horrors of the war, where a person become refugee at his own country, had to run away from his own place, from the love and the near and the dear ones, and have no place to go, no future out there, no definite future out there, with a baffled hero. This ends the story. And this story was set at the time of the Easter, the day of hope, where in the story we cannot see anything hopeful out there. This ends the story Old Man at the Bridge by Ernest Hemingway. Thank you.